What did I do wrong, Mace?
You aged. That was the big trouble. You aged.
Hello, my name is Adam Delka. I am the theater director here at Bridgeland High School.
Hi, I'm Allison McLean and I'm the technical theater director at Bridgeland High School.
We are together producing with our students the production of Requiem for a Heavyweight by Rod Serling.
Get it off of me.
What hit him?
Almost mountain. Muff off, Leo. That's a fast track out there. You want to see the other guy and not a mark on him. Mountain, can you hear me okay? Alum, Army, let's have some.
I don't think Alan's gonna do it, mate. She's gonna take stitches.
Looks like an irrigation ditch. What was that son of a bitch using? You let loose.
Mace. Hey, Mace.
Go easy. Go easy, Mountain. You got a lot of time.
Mace, too fast. Much too fast.
Bum night, kid. Just a bum night all the way around. There'll be others.
Side mountain.
Hi, my name is Rex Kern, and I am playing the role of Mountain McClintock. Mountain McClintock is a boxer, and he's been boxing for about 14 years, and this is really his whole livelihood. This is his whole entire being. And after this brutal beatdown, 8 rounds, passing out, blood everywhere, he's told that he can't fight anymore. He can't do the one thing that he has to do to live, pretty much.
Hi, my name is Natalie Green and I'm assistant director. One of my roles as the student director was also to help block or get more into the characters of certain actors or during those rehearsals. And so I would help them block certain scenes, and I would also kind of talk with them a little bit more about what their character's history is, or what at this moment their characters going through, just so they have a deeper understanding of it.
Hi, my name is Corbin Garrett. I am the production stage manager, and what I do is a lot of times I will be with the crew during rehearsal. I'll be with the crew. I'll be helping our tech director facilitate crew, just helping everything run smoother. Also help some set building, and I have helped some designing in it.
Hi, I'm Madison Gully and I am the assistant stage manager. So as assistant stage manager, really my job is to just help out wherever it is that I'm needed, whether that's assisting with tech or taking blocking notes sometimes. It's just being wherever I need to be and wherever there is something to be done. So to any incoming freshmen, middle schoolers, even elementary schoolers, I would definitely have to say I would recommend this program because there's so many different ways that you can help out, so many different things that you can learn. Like me personally, coming into high school, I didn't know half of the stuff that I know now, and there's so many different places you can learn and help out with tech. There's wigs, there's costumes, there's set building, and then with acting, there's directing, and there's just so many different things you can try.
You've seen some good ones.
Good ones, bad ones, some fast and slow ones, some alive ones, and a couple of dead ones. Some almost dead ones. He's got no business being in there, Maish. What is it, are you hungry or something?
Hungry? What do you mean hungry? In 1948, we were number 5.
Only 1948? Maish, when was that? The day before yesterday? Now, if they were all just machines, we wouldn't have this problem. Parts get worn, you replace them. When they're past their prime, you just chuck them. Maish, I want to show you something. Look at this. This is known as sclerotic damage. Look around the eye. A couple of solid hits there. You can get him a tin can and some pencils. Or maybe that won't have to happen. Maybe someday he'll just bang his head on the bathroom door and bleed to death. Either way, no more Maish. This is it. Mountain and I will both retire this week.
What do you mean?
No more.
He can rest up. I've got nothing scheduled for him.
He can rest up the rest of his life.
What are you talking about? He's 14 years in this business. Suddenly he gets a cut and we put him out to the pasture?
Suddenly he gets a cut, Maish. This isn't just one cut. This is 14 years worth of cuts. I mean, how long do you think he'd get on?
Forget it.
How long, Maish? Forever?
No, I knew he was getting there. I was just hoping.
Hoping what?
Hoping he had a few more in him. You know, the boy still looks plenty sharp. He knows his way around in there. The boy's a pro.
You bet your life he is. It's probably why he's still alive right now.
You're a real joker, Doc.
Yeah? Who's laughing?
Hi, I'm Josh Kramer. I play the character of Maish. And a little bit about Maish is, well, Maish cares about only one thing in this world, and that's himself. He really is super selfish, and that comes out a lot when he is managing his fighter Mountain. The stakes for Maish in this production are literally his life, because Greenie sort of threatens to kill him if he doesn't get the money. Maish's redeeming qualities are that he does care for people, and I truly believe if he did have more money and a better life, he would treat people like a true friend. But since he is just so desperate for money and so he doesn't die, he abuses his friendships that he works so hard to build up.
Hi, I'm Jackson Nichols, and I portray the character of Army. Army was a difficult person to understand his motives and his objectives throughout the scene, because he likes to play the good guy, when in all actuality, he's right alongside Maish as being a bad person. He uses Mountain as to get money. He doesn't particularly like it, but it's the only way that he can live, and it's the only way that he knows how. For him being as old as he is and doing this business for as long as he has, he doesn't have any other choice but to continue the bad actions that he has in the past. The parallels between Army's career and that of Mountain's career that we explore through the show is we both go through the toxic relationship between Maish. They were both his players and his victims of abuse, both mental and verbal, and was stolen from at the end of the day. The difference between the two is that I was asked to step down because Mountain was introduced to my life. But Mountain was forced to step down because of the physical abuse that Maish put him through.
Golda, what are you doing vertical? Is the recession on?
You're a miserable little son of a bitch, you know that, don't you? We can't just sit and have a talk, huh? Everything's professional with you.
So then talk. Say something.
How'd the mom do?
How'd the Mountain do? He did 7 rounds, 9 stitches, and about a quart of blood. He sat there with his hands at his sides, and he took every kind of punch ever invented. Took it like it was some kind of inheritance. Schmuck. Big, dumb schmuck. And then the doctor comes in. His last day, Golda, so he has to leave a monument. The carcass of Mountain McClintock. My boy comes out looking like the floor of a dispensary, and I get caught up in a bum bet. I bet against him. I said he wouldn't go for.
A lot of money, Maish?
The pot and then some. Everything I own and half of what I don't. I owe $3,000.
$3,000?
I'm fresh out of a fighter. And a big-hearted Maxell is about to report me to the commission for making the bet. Maybe later he'll take off some of my skin in an alleyway for welching on him, but that's just for dessert. The main course, he gets my license taken away. What?
I was just wondering. Were you ever any different than you are now? Have you always acted like this? Like you're on a subway at 5 o'clock? You always run scared, Maish. Haven't you ever walked?
Hi, my name is Hannah Tomaszewski. In the play, I portray Golda, and basically Golda, she is what is essentially a hooker for this time period, and her main motive is to really make money, and so she interacts with the main character, Maish, and I feel like both of them stick together and love each other because they're both bad people who stick together. So Golda's relationship to the character Maish is, it's not like they are in a romance or a relationship together, but it's more so they stick together because it's all they have. Golda compares herself to Maish in the script, and I feel like she compares herself because both of the characters use bodies to make money. You know, Maish profits off of Mountain, and he uses fighters for his advantage, where Golda uses her body to make money. And so I feel like they're very similar in that they appreciate each other because they see each of themselves in each other. So I feel like Golda relates to Maish because she's able to see through his facade that he kind of puts up through his reputation and stuff. And to her, in a way, it's like looking in a mirror because, you know, they both use bodies and other people to make money for themselves. And she recognizes that it's not a reliable lifestyle, that, you know, they're making bad choices, but at the end of the day, they stick together because that's all they have.
My name is Sophia Bolanos, and I'm working on sets and props, and our approach to the set has basically been to go with more simplistic colors and a more simplistic set. So we focus our colors on mainly grays, tans, very earthy tones, and we've also included 2 sides of a boxing arena so that all of the action goes on around there.
Hi, my name is Caroline Cordero. I am a part of props. For our props, we decided to go for a very vintage, rustic, old-timey, very like if you were looking through a glass of like black and white. And this was very important with our props because that meant everything incorporated in it, including our sets, also had to be in that sort of category. We also had to set each prop to the time period. So if it was a hairbrush, it would not be a hairbrush that you saw today. It would be a hairbrush that you saw in the 1950s. Same with a bucket, a hamper, or even lockers.
Hello, my name is Lillian Montalvo, and I have been helping with the set build. For me, I have mainly been working on dirtying up the area. So what that means is making the wood not look so pristine. Because in the world that we live in this 1958 style, all the wood and all the pieces would be sort of grunged up and have a sort of it got smoked over look to it. And we're trying to keep it in the same style for each piece. We included the ring as a big part of the set because it is a big part of the story. Most of the main conflicts happen in the ring because that is the main focus. For Mountain, or Rex, the main character, as he faces all of his big conflicts, and that is mainly what the whole story is about, encompassed together.
That's perfectly all right, Mr. McClintock. As long as we've got your address here, we'll contact you if anything comes up.
Thank you.
You know, after the war, I did a lot of work with disabled veterans.
Yeah? Go on.
I just meant you'd be surprised at the amount of opportunities that come up for...
For cripples? For those kinds of guys?
I didn't mean that. I meant for people who have special problems.
Special problems? I got no special problems. There was no place on that answer sheet for it, but I was almost the heavyweight champion of the world. I'm a big, dumb, ugly slob, and I look like a freak, but I was almost a heavyweight champion of the world. I'd like to put that down someplace on this answer sheet. This guy wasn't just a punk. This was a guy that was almost a heavyweight champion of the world.
Hi, I'm Mackenzie Mann. I play Grace Miller. She is someone who is counted as Mountain's love interest in this play, as well as someone who helps him. The question is whether or not that is out of the pureness of her heart or out of some sort of savior complex. I think we all have a savior complex in some sense. We see a hurt animal on the road and we want to help it, except this time it's a hurt human. And she sees someone in pain and hurt and lashing out because he doesn't know what else to do. And she sees the opportunity to pick up some pieces, to pick up the clipboard, to help in whatever way she can, and she finds joy in that. And so, whether or not her relationship with Mountain is like, quote, romance, another question, but I think it's a relationship out of a sort of love that we all have for each other, if that makes sense, where we just want to help each other. And I think that's a beautiful part of Grace, but I think the savior complex is a part of Grace that brings a depth and a more realistic side, that not everything is peachy. As someone who lives in 2022 and has been instilled with 2022 values and all leading up to it, my life, going back to a time like 1958, you know, where it's pantyhose. You aren't seeing outside without your pantyhose. You know, going back to that time, particularly as a woman, is very interesting. I'm very, very strong-willed, and I'm very, very, if that makes sense. And Grace is soft. There isn't a weakness in that, and I think there's a strength in it. Philip Seymour Hoffman once said, you have to ask, what does this character have to do with you? Grace and I are strong. It comes out in different ways, but there's a strength to get through it all, and I think that's what connects me to her. He didn't get the message. He missed the appointment. He lost the position, Mr. Resnick. I thought you'd be interested.
That's the way of the world, honey. The rich get rich, and the messages don't get told. He wasn't much interested in the job anyway.
That's not what he told me this morning, Mr. Resnick. He was disappointed. He was desperately disappointed.
People change their minds.
Overnight.
Overnight and every hour on the hour. You better leave, Miss Miller. This place isn't quite your style. Somebody might take you for a hooker, and this is a hell of an unromantic place to lose your virtue in.
I don't like you very much, Mr. Resnick.
Oh, that breaks my heart. Because you're such a wonderful judge of character. Though sometimes you go a little off. Like with Mountain McClintock. You should have checked the material list a little bit closer for this one. You're dealing with a fighter now. This isn't a second-year student from Yale looking for something to occupy his summer. This is a 196-pound heavyweight whose whole business is his hands and his feet. He doesn't even have to speak the language, let alone read bedtime stories and all that shit.
Why are you doing this to him? Do you hate him or something?
Hate him? Listen, little lady. I'm all he's got in this world. Me and Army. We're the only two people on God's earth who gives a rat's ass whether he lives or dies.
Why are you holding him back?
Stop it. Don't give me any of that social worker crap. Around here, it's a foreign language. I never could understand social workers.
And I never could understand pack rats.
I'm worse than that. I'm a pimp. Yeah. I'm a pimp. And I said that out loud. You understand? I admit it.
Hello, my name is Ethan Miller. I work on both lights and sound. I do stuff like creating projections like posters for the backgrounds. I also created a list of sound effects, and also I work the soundboard.
Hello, my name is Lily Landry and I'm working on lights. For us, for this show, it was really important for us to be able to tell that the story is happening in 1958, and so we wanted to make sure we had that like black and white feel to the lighting on stage as well. And another cool thing that we've decided to do is have banners come down for memories. In the script, Mountain, or Rex, has flashbacks of fighting or like reminiscing on when he was in the ring, and so we decided to project those onto banners.
My name is Samuel Choi, and I'm also on lights. Our biggest final idea was that we have large stadium lights to project on the actors to show that while Mountain has left the ring, his life has never left fighting, and he continues to fight, and he continues to make that his main drive in his life.
Come on, kid. We haven't got much time. You better get into this thing. Well, you don't gotta wear it long, kid. You know, you just walk around the ring a couple times and then you take it right off. You got these long johns underneath, see? And you don't have to put the rest of the stuff back on until the bout's over.
Clown.
Well, that's what he calls it. You're getting your thoughts straight from him. Can't you think a thought for yourself, Mountain?
Well, that's what he calls it, but I call it that too. Everybody out there is gonna call it that. Clown. Mace, don't make me.
Don't make you? What am I, your father or something? Listen, kid, you don't do anything you don't want to do, but if you don't think you don't owe it to me, okay.
Oh, tell him to go away, Mace.
What are you talking about? He'll be right there, Borelli. Listen, kid, you walk out on me now and I'm dead. You understand? I'm dead.
Can't. I can't, Mace. I can't.
You got a debt, mister. You owe me.
No, Mace. No.
I swear I'll beat you to a pulp myself. I wouldn't be in this jam if it weren't for you.
Mace, I'll do anything you want. Anything but...
But... It bothers you too much, doesn't it? Huh? Well, it didn't bother you last week to stand in the ring with your hands at your sides and let Gibbons beat you to a pulp? It didn't bother you one bit! It didn't bother you that I had all the money in the world tossed on the table to say that you wouldn't go for!
Mace. Mace, you bet against me. Mace, why'd you bet against me?
Would it have made any difference, kid? If I hawked my left foot and betted on you, would it have made any difference? You're not a winner anymore, kid. That means there's only one thing left. Make a little on the losing.
You think. You dirty think, Mace, you dirty, lousy think. 'Cause I didn't go down? 'Cause I stood up and I took it for you, I gotta pay for it like this. Like this, huh, Mace? Ah! In all the dirty, crummy years I fought for you, I never felt ashamed. Not of a round, not of a minute. But somehow now you make me feel ashamed. You understand, Mace? You make me feel ashamed. I would have gone into any ring barehanded against the guy with the cleaver, and it wouldn't have hurt me near as much as this.
I'm Hannah Mitty. I'm in charge of wigs and makeup, and I was the only one specifically assigned to this, but thankfully I've had these three lovely ladies step in from their jobs to help me out. The toughest scene for me was the first scene. So I've been focusing mainly on Mountain's or Rex's prosthetics and his bruising and his bloodiness, and so like there's blood all over my hands, but it was hard finding that realistic look to the bruises that was still going to be able to be seen, and kind of making them look fresh, like he had just been hit, like he had just come out of the ring. So our main challenge with the hair, on guys at least, was that right now the trend is to like have this long, like fluffy hair, but that wasn't 1950s. 1950s was like slick back, the more forehead the better. So a lot of our guys did have to get their haircuts, and that kind of really shows the commitment that they had towards these roles. And for women, it was the wigs. And the wigs were a whole other set of challenges. So really styling those wigs was difficult because some of them can't take heat, some of them don't take curls as well.
But once we found something that like matched with our actors, we found the perfect style, and everything sort of like came into place really perfectly.
Army, stick, will you?
Stick?
Just help me with them. Stay alongside.
Partners again, huh? What? He sees me, he's gonna move faster in there, is that it?
He'll want both of us, Army. It'll help him. Army, what is it? A few lousy one-night stands?
Stop it, Mace. It's not just a few lousy one-night stands. You break him into the dummy harness once, he's gonna stay in it.
It don't have to be that way, Army. I'm gonna do something for that kid. I'm not just gonna set him just like that.
Sure, you're gonna do something for him, Mace. You're gonna walk him around the ring like a carnival geek while a couple hundred screaming idiots yell because they don't like the plot. Sure, you're gonna do something for him. This is a slob to you. This is a dead weight.
That's not true!
Yeah, you listen to me, Mace. This is a man with heart. This is somebody's flesh and bone now. You can't just sell this off by the pound, because if you do, you'll rot in hell. You hear me? You'll rot in hell.
We wanted to take the world and place the majority of it inside an actual boxing ring, because the main character's life is centered in boxing. And so all of the moments of conflict, all the moments of story development happen inside an actual boxing ring.
Going off of the transitions, all of our set pieces, for the most part, turn and become a different part of the set, creating the same world, but all of these pieces used interchangeably.
Costuming. It's one of my favorite things to do, and to work with the students on costumes. So we try to emulate that authentic 1958 feel, not a movie version, but like a realistic version of 1958. Our costume student crew has done an amazing job of helping get the pants right for the boys, to make sure that we all have that pleat down the front and the cuff either at the bottom or a little high water, depending which they seem to like now. It's kind of interesting. Musically, our underscore it's kind of a variety of a couple things. We're going a lot with certain sound effects with mood setting and transitions. So for example, we're going to be using the sound of a breaker box turning off and on as those stadium lights pop on real vividly and bright. Also, we're throwing in a little bit of that film noir, 1950s kind of seedy jazz vibe, and show them off. And almost every one of those senior students, they're going into the field some way, shape, or form, whether it's on stage or behind the scenes. And then I have to brag on our crew, because our crew is predominantly a female crew. They are doing every element that, in a somewhat of a man's world, they're owning it, and I love that. We as directors and as a company, we've talked a lot about, we're not taking this opportunity to submit for granted. We know it's not a given. We take it very seriously, and we're working really hard to put a quality product out that would make our school, our department, and us, also Texas Thespians, very proud. So thank you for your time and viewing our trailer and our submission, and we hope to see you at State Thespians. Thank you.
Thank you.